I haven't done an interview video in 2 months. As a refresher for the lovely new people, I used to, kind of frequently, make a call to action to the community to get a bunch of people to come talk to me about a Dead by Daylight issue. And this time, I was seeking out DBD stories. I wrote down a ton of questions, pause if you want to read them, meant to evoke people's worst and best memories of this beautiful and terrible game. This is a 2-part video, and we're starting with the best.
I get in, I decide, you know what? I want to learn how to play this game. So I do. There's this whole montage sequence of me like learning maps, learning everything. Like vault locations where gens can spawn, like how to kind of loop, but mostly killer, just juggling 4 people, 5 different objectives, every single tile on whatever maps are available at the time. And it's great. I'm at my peak. So I'm chilling out in some random stream and I'm losing my mind because in the midst of some random guy playing Bubba and just having a chill time, there's the blight plants all over the place. And I don't get it, like who in 2023 still has their blight plants up? And lo and behold, it's Sage. And I just immediately, this is the next favorite person. Like, this is mine. You've been adopted into my circle of I don't know what you call it. It's not really family. It's favorite people.
I had a situation on Coldwind. I was carrying a Yui to her hook. It was a 3K, right? So it would be a 4K. And right as I was going to press the spacebar to do the interaction, the hatch spawned behind a hay bale. So turned to the hook, to the hay bale, to the hook, to the hay bale. She eventually started wiggling, so I knew she was getting impatient, so I just dropped her on the hatch and let her go.
Probably one of the best interactions I ever had while I was playing Killer was just a group of goofballs that they didn't take the game seriously. They ran around like flashlights and all sorts of stuff. It wasn't a bully squad. I thought it was, but it wasn't, and it was one of the more enjoyable matches that I've had. They all wore the same goofy cosmetics, and I liked that they complemented my Huntress gameplay.
I do remember this game I had this one time though, where all the players are playing extremely well. Playing against a Ghostface, you got a 3K, and I felt super happy. Even though I died, I wasn't able to allow one person to escape. Everyone said GG's. Everyone complimented how they played. It felt really, really nice. It was a great game.
When I was playing Oni, practicing for a win streak a week ago, I killed a Dwight immediately, unfortunately, because he was being kind of silly. And then all the other survivors I just saw start doing a Congo line on the edge of the map. I was like, okay, I can't kill them now. So we just ended up farming the last 2 gens and then had some silly moment fun times and then endgame slug race. And yeah, it was fun and silly.
One of the most funny interactions that I've ever had was with a jump scare ghost face on RPD when I was playing Survivor. And I've got clips of it on my Twitch channel, but it's just so funny to see how I knew there was something up at the beginning of the game, how I hadn't heard the terror radius even though I was in the center of the map. And I thought I heard a wraith breathing or something, so I ended up moving to the pellet, and then a few seconds later I get my life just drains from me as I just get hit out of nowhere, and it just scared everything out of me. It's so funny to see how different people can just let everybody go and just have a fun time scaring the living daylights out of people.
I was playing DBD late at night. This time I was playing Killer in pubs. I was playing as Ghostface, and I was just running a funny Rancor build because I was tired and didn't have the brain power to actually play Killer, but I still wanted to play Killer. But I lit into the match and just immediately made it clear to the survivors that I was just there to have fun. We were running around the map, just pointing at stuff and crouching and having fun. And once they completed all 5 gens, they realized I had Rancor, because they powered the exit gates, and I immediately downed my obsession in the exit. And I mean, my plan was to moor the obsession and just have some fun watching the Ghostface Mori because it's one of my favorite Moris in the game. But as soon as I whacked them, it was like they were all in sync. The other 3 survivors all just clustered around the slug and just stared at me. They didn't do anything. They just immediately like stood stock still and just stared at me. They were not willing. They made a wall and they were going to protect their friend. And I couldn't do it. I just let them heal the slug back up and let them all go. But after that match, I just was smiling and staring at my monitor at the endgame screen, and it was really nice.
There was a Scratch Meter Myers who was a beginner Scratch Meter Myers, and he sent us to the game, and he was trying to all the time jump scare people. And then he was getting me from time to time, but there was like times that I think that I felt that he was near me, so I was just pointing to a wall, yeah, and he just like slowly moved and nodded his head, and he went somewhere else, and I was like, this guy is amazing. And later, like, everybody escaped, and I was like, no, I need to give him, I need to sacrifice for this guy. I need to breed this type of players. And it was like, I think that it was the best care that I had in the longest time.
As a killer, I've had this fond memory. It was Dead Dog. I believe I was playing Artist. Yeah, Artist. And I was destroying this one team halfway through the match. It was going well for me until this blonde hair, I think her name was the Kate Denson model. She did a green glyph in front of me, but I didn't see that. I just saw, like, from the corner of my eye, like, her, and I swung and I downed her, and I was like, oh dang, I hit someone who I shouldn't have because they were doing the glyph. And I spent the rest of that match chasing them down and bringing them back to the glyph so they could do it because it was just staying there. And eventually they got the hint, and they were thankful for it. I was on console, so I couldn't see the endgame chat, but I'm hoping they were very thankful about it, very nice about it, and I let them go.
When I'm introducing my friends to the game, I very much describe it like everyone is playing just to have fun. Everyone's still a person on the other end of the screen. I'm not going to hold someone hostage in a lobby for any reason. They don't have to keep playing if they don't want to, and I'll let them get on to the next thing. But anytime I'm with friends, I gotta describe it to them same way I'm thinking it. Everyone's just playing to have fun. Help anyone else you can, whether they're your opponent or your teammate.
I've been giving Hatch a lot of times when my teammates sandbag me or when they see that I suck at Survivor. When I get, like, they tunnel me until I'm on death hook, and then they just let me go because they feel bad, I guess. I hope people spread more positivity, like the guy that just let me escape because I sucked, and more positivity in the community.
It was a game. I had been having a horrible day, and so I was like, I went on Blight because Blight is good and he's also probably one of the most fun killers for me. But I was on Blight just trying to win and kill people, like really not caring what people were doing. Up until I got into this game, I believe I was on that one spaceship map, the one that came with Singularity. I remember this. I even have screenshots and videos of it, I think. But basically, I spawned in, I started killing them, but I noticed these Sables, it was like 4 Sable wards, and they all had like matching names, if I'm right. So all of these Sable wards, like, they all like stopped, like they just stood still, and I was like, what's happening? Like, I got so confused. But then all of them like started crouching and walking towards me, and they trapped me against this rock for like the longest time, and they would like start pointing at each other. I was like, what do they want? And I feel like they're like speaking in alien language. I was like, oh, they just want to like point farm and stuff. And so the entire game, I'm running around doing this stupid things, these 4 matching name Sables. And at the end of it, like, the most memorable part was like, yeah, we can make every killer friendly, even a Blight. And it was like the funniest thing. I still remember that game to this day. I think I can get a screenshot for you later.
But one of my favorite stories involves Larise and these two survivors with very memorable names, and I remember them because their names were Bumhole Mouth and Titty Mouth. Yes, that was really their names. So I was really newer to Killer at the time, and I was still learning Ghostface, having a rough time that session, and I was sweating very hard. So I slapped on this really mean build and sent everybody to Larise. So Yui was AFK, so I hook her. Renato wanted a real game, so I chased him around but noticed nobody was really doing gens. So I go looking for these other two. And as I'm doing this, I find the Mouth Twins. I'm gonna call them the Mouth Twins because just for sake of clarification. I find them crouching slowly, marching towards the middle of the main ducklings, and I'm just like, okay. And I stand there like, what the fuck? So please imagine this very confused stalker man standing in the middle of a hospital watching these serfs do this. And I'm like, alright, you want to do that? Sure. I run off, Renato gets off the hook, down and hook Yui, down and hook Renato. I go looking again. So Yui's dead at this point, Renato's on hook, I run around, I find these two survivors doing the same thing as before. They're still crouching along like ducklings. And I'm like, are you serious? So they're just refusing to unhook this man or play seriously at all, and I'm just like, bewildered as all hell. I'm just watching them do this, and I just go, fuck it. And I crouch behind them and I start doing it too. So Renato dies on hook. I switch to leading these two survivors up to the top of main. And we all just kind of vibe and do goofy shit. I even had like a moment with them. I got one of them like kind of like cornered in the shower. We're just like staring into each other's eyes. All these little goofy interactions, you know? I felt really bad about the Yui and the Renato, but at the end, the other two were just like, you know, thank you for having fun with us. I mean, at the end, they even gave me, one of them gave me their kills and one of them got Hatch. I didn't want them to give me their kills. I wasn't going to take it, but they're like, here you go. I'm like, okay.
Let me tell you about one of the best games I've ever played. So, to set the stage a little, it's the Twisted Masquerade event. I am playing Vecna, and I'm in a game, so we're on Red Forest, and I'm just playing a very casual game. We get to the end game stage of the game. I managed to sacrifice the Ada, and all the other survivors managed to escape. Now, I was already going to let one of the Sables go because they found and used my legendary item that has an achievement attached to it. I just was going to hand them the achievement and let them go. We get to the post-game chat, and I just like say GG, and all the event banners and stuff start flying up, and the two Sables just start ripping into me, like just non-stop toxicity, just everything under the sun there. I don't say anything, I just leave the lobby, but it's like that game really gets to me. You know, it just really gets under my skin. So I'm just like, fine, you know what? I'm going to take the next game super seriously. I'm going to go for a 4K. I'm going to show that I'm a really good Vecna. Now we talk about the actual best game I have played. So we load in, it's a Kate, an Ace, a Leon, and a Fang. We're on Macmillan Estate, Shelter Woods, and I'm just locked in. The event card pops off, haste boost, and I'm just off like a shot. Get to the other side of the map, and I find the Kate and the Ace just sort of hanging out. The Ace runs off, and I just go right for the Kate, and just as I'm about to swing at them, Kate just pulls out Bardic Inspiration, and I am just halted in my tracks. And it's just like, as I'm listening to her just play, just all that like anger and frustration I had out of the last game I played just completely melts away. And then to top it all off, we get to the post-game chat, and it is just Kate and Ace just gushing about how much fun they had that game. And they're just like so hyped that they were playing against a Vecna. It was like really fitting into the whole we're playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight, so it's really cool that we played against Vecna, and it was just, my heart melted again. It was just so beautiful. It just totally, completely changed my mood for the rest of the day. It was amazing.
I'd like to share with y'all my best DBD story because it kind of reflects where I'm at right now. Over a year ago, I was streaming, and I was completely overwhelmed with the idea of going to college. I was scared that my life was actually going to start, and I wasn't prepared for that. So as a survivor on Midwich halfway through the game, I broke down crying and venting to the people in chat. How I was terrified and unprepared for my life to change. And the killer, this Wraith, I don't know if he was in chat. I don't know if he just saw me struggling. Man, I am stressed about so many things right now. I did not mean to take a hit. I don't love crying because it happens so much. Like, it's just a lot. Man, life's weird. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm scared about college. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I don't know where I'm going. Oh my god. I don't know how to handle the fact that I have so much life left to live. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And he gave me this time to collect myself and actually feel the emotions I was trying to avoid. He never came into chat. He never said a word to me. But I'm thankful to that Wraith every day for what he did for me.